Alright, we got a new build going on. This time in 22 ARC, or Advanced Rifle Cartridge. New Hornet A round, or new-ish. 1 in 7 twist, which is going to be plenty for what I'm doing. 1 in 8 would probably be fine. For me, I'm not going to be shooting super heavies. And this is a Craddock Precision, their RTR line, which I believe means ready to rock. And it's a more affordable barrel from them. I think it's a Rock Creek, if I'm not mistaken. But I already bore scoped it. It looks pretty nice. The gas port is nice and smooth. The crown looks really good. Everything looks pretty good in there. There are some tooling marks. It's not like my Bartlein barrel from Craddock, but it looks pretty good. And what might be particularly interesting about this build is we're doing it in left hand. I'm a left-handed shooter, always have been, or since my early days anyway. I've shot a lot of right-handed rifles, a lot of right-handed ARs. I decided this time, finally, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right, and I'm going to build a left-hander, which certainly has its challenges. You have a lot fewer options for pretty much all the components. Well, the only components that really need to be left-handed is the upper receiver, of course, the bolt and bolt carrier, so like the entire bolt carrier group needs to be left-handed, and let me think, that's about it. But even just those two components, it's difficult to, you don't have the selection like you would in right-handed components. Right-handed, you can get whatever you want from a dozen different companies. This is Stag Arms receiver. It's I don't know, your standard 70-75 aluminum receiver. The only thing that's kind of funky about it is that the ejection port actually opens upwards, or the port cover, I mean, opens upwards. I don't know. We'll see if that interferes with anything. I'll just take it off. It's fine. What else do I got here? Oh, my bolt carrier. Yeah, my bolt carrier group. I looked all over the place. I wanted to get either nickel boron or DLC coated, just so that it'd be a little smoother, a little easier to clean, because I shoot this 100% suppressed, and that tends to be dirty. But here's my bolt carrier. I got this, the entire bolt carrier group from Pro 2A Tactical. It looks like other people have said that it's Toolcraft bolt carrier group, and it seems like it is, which would be good. Those are quality bolt carrier groups, so be happy with that. This one is nitride coating, so it's definitely better, smoother, slicker than your phosphate finish, your standard phosphate, but it wasn't really the DLC or nickel boron that I wanted. Oh, also, of course, this is in 22 ARC, and I have this all kind of torn apart because I was cleaning it. You always want to clean your stuff, even when it's brand new. Make sure you get all that manufacturing dirt and grime and sludge off of it. Anyway, this is a 22 ARC bolt. Also be used for 6.5 Grendel, 6mm arc, but anyway, it's not your standard AR-15 bolt. It has a larger bolt face. So that was another component that was hard to find, because you can find standalone bolts and standalone bolt carriers, but not a whole lot of them. And that's kind of why I ended up going with this, even though it wasn't my first choice for coatings. I think it's probably going to be fine. Oh, the other thing I got, a couple other things. I got this thing, like a special cam pin. Here it is. It's supposed to make things smoother. run smoother and cause less wear on your upper receiver. We'll see. I'll try it. Adjustable gas block. Not too fancy. There's plenty of choices there. Obviously, this doesn't have to be left-handed, so you have all the choices you want. As long as it matches the, gas block journal diameter. This one, I believe, is 750. And I got a handguard. I think this is AR Stoner, which is, not your top of the line stuff. It's definitely on the cheaper end, but as far as I know, it's made in the USA. It's M-LOK. It's lightweight. It has built-in quick detach ports. I don't know. Should be fine. What else do I got? That's mostly it. I'm only building an upper. I'm just going to use one of my existing lowers, which they're already set up for left-handed shooting. I got ambidextrous safeties and whatnot. I did buy some factory ammo. This is the 75 grain, the Hornady Black. I'm going to try this out. I'm also going to try out their 62 grain. I wasn't able to get that just yet. The 62 grain ELD VT is what I'm most excited about, because this is primarily going to be a coyote gun. But I know that the 75 grain ELD works just fine for coyotes too. I've shot a few with it on my 22 Creedmoor, and it does just fine. So those are all the parts I got. I've just been doing a couple of things, like in the barrel extension. Looked pretty good, and this is true of just about any barrel extension. A lot of times these edges in here are kind of sharp, so you can just take like some sandpaper. I started out with 320 grit, and then moved to 600, and I just took like a little strip, and I'm just sort of trying to get in there. I'm not trying to remove any material, really, just trying to knock it down, or knock down the sharp edges a little bit, because if you leave those in there, it will chew up your brass. Now, if you don't care about your brass, you're just shooting it one time, that's fine. I'm definitely going to be reloading for this. I want to keep my brass, keep it nice if I can. So in this case, you really want to focus on, the 2 feeder amps. And then since this is a left-handed one, the cases are going to be ejecting out this side. So I also want to do it on these 2 lugs here. I mean, you can certainly smooth the back sides of every lug, but really where you need it is where the case is going to most likely touch it. It's going to be down here when it's being loaded into the chamber, and over on this side where it's going to be ejected. Now, obviously, if this was a right-handed setup, it would be ejecting on this side, and we'd want to take care of the lugs there. But again, not removing material, just kind of polishing, knocking down the sharp edges. That's it. The other thing I did was I squared up the bolt, or the receiver face. So my squaring tool, and this just goes in here. You put a little bit, there's other videos on this, I'm sure. I even made one for an AR-10 earlier, but you put some gritty stuff on here, and you put it in here, and you just kind of rotate it around, and all you're looking to do there, so first you take this and you mark up the surface with a marker, either black or silver, whatever you can see, and then you just rotate that inside of there with, again, the grit is on this surface here, which mates to the receiver face, and all you're looking to do is level it off, smooth it. If you grind on it, grind is probably not the right word, you polish on it a little bit, you pull it out, and you look, and you see, where do I still have marker? Well, if I still have marker in some places, it means that it's maybe low there and high in other places. It means I need to, you keep doing it until all the markers gone. That way I know that all the way around the face here, it's perfectly flat. And that's going to be important for when we mate these up, because I want my barrel to sit perfectly flat, be on the receiver face. So we'll be getting to that a little bit later, but that's just what I've done for now. And it didn't take much. This one was really square to begin with. I've seen they do vary a little bit. You can see there some parts of it are silver a little bit. That's just where it's really the only high spots on this receiver face where maybe where the anodizing was a little bit thicker. That's it. It was really close to begin with. I didn't take much, but it looks like it's all squared up now. So next step is I'm going to be bedding the barrel into the receiver and torquing it down.